عايز كمان الشوط الثاني باين فيها الشوط الثاني
نبتدي بقى الجلسة. Now we have Mohamed Gharib, Solution Manager of SIEMENS, and he's going to introduce lab digitalization for flow excellence. Go ahead.
صباح الخير. In the beginning, I would like to thank you for allowing me this opportunity to be among with you today in this reputable annual conference. As a beginning, I would ask you, would you like the presentation to be in English or in Arabic? English. Okay, so I keep it in English. Today, I'm going to talk about the lab digitalization. I guess, I already talked about it last year, and I keep talking about it because it is the market trend. So I start with what's happening, what the meaning of digitalization. Each year, the amount of data we produce is doubled. So a lot of data we produce each year. In 2020, there was an estimation that around 50 billion connected smart device. 50 billion, it's an enormous number of smart devices connected. However, approximately more than 80% of these data are unstructured. What the mean of unstructured? Unstructured, that it's lost. I cannot use it. It's a waste of data. So we need to make good use of that 20% and also to go beyond 20% to increase the benefits out of this data. Some technologies came around to use these 20%, some of them which is Internet of Things, connecting sensors, devices to the internet, like the cars now are connected to the internet to do some tasks. Also, big data computing, like the advertisements companies, they collect data from populations, big population to generate some revenue or values. Also, the artificial intelligence. We all hear about the artificial intelligence. It's using the digitalization or data to make the digital machine think like human, act like human, solve problems like human. This is meant by artificial intelligence. Some market trends now moving laboratories to the digitalization era, which are the consolidation. You know that a lot of facilities, healthcare facilities are consolidating together in one healthcare network. Also standardizing the process. As you know, as the consolidation comes in, we need to have a standardized process and a centralized operating structure for all the healthcare network. Now, becoming the market, the value-based care. It means patient-centric care. Means that I offer a value for the patient without waiting for the patient to come in. Proposing value to the patient. It's called patient-centric value-based care. These trends are driving the digital transformation in the market. Two words are similar, but different in mind. Digitizing and digitalization, or digitization and digitalization. Digitization means to transfer or to convert the paperwork or the paper, the analog data into 1 and 0, digital data. But digitalization, how to use this 1 and 0, these digits or this digitization to make an action, to improve the process inside the laboratory or any healthcare facility. So different in meaning, but the same like in pronunciation. This is the digitalization, and this is the digitalization, using the digital technology or the digital data into improving the process inside the healthcare facility. However, now we have to transform to digital. We need some new digital or digital business capabilities to tackle the digital era. We need to move to digital, so we need more or new capabilities. We will see what are the capabilities needed and how to improve the workflow through the digital transformation. In the time being, many clinical laboratories are lacking for concrete performance metrics. That means that it's very difficult to identify underlying workflow inefficiencies or process inefficiencies. It's very difficult. That's why people think that moving to the digital, it's very difficult. I don't have metrics, so I don't know exactly what are the inefficiencies in my process. I don't know how to move on. We will see like a roadmap or 4 steps to go through digital transformation. Starting with standardization of performance. We need to standardize the performance across the network or across the healthcare facility, not depending on personnel. Maybe someone is very talented or very acquainted with the process, but maybe someone else is not acquainted with the process. So deviation will happen, problem will happen. Improve also workforce productivity and reduce error. This is one of the KPIs most of the laboratories all over the world are looking after. Also reducing the cost, increase the reputation, making more revenue, and increase the profitability. And also prepare for the future. These are the main 4 steps that we are going to investigate now or to explain using the digital transformation. First step, which is standardized performance. 75% of the physicians agree that turnaround time is linked to the customer satisfaction or the patient satisfaction. If I have a consistent turnaround time, less turnaround time, I will gain more customer satisfaction or patient satisfaction. However, in the time being, most of the analyzers or most of the machines are connected to the LIS. All of us know that, LIS. But LIS is lacking for a lot of capabilities. Just viewing some results, some link to some pictures or some history of the patient, but are not acquainted to improve the performance. Because I guess, most of the results are linked together. We have a holistic view of the all information of that patient. So middleware here is a good solution that will connect different analyzers from different vendors, from different sites in a single point of contact, a single point of view. You can have oversight of all the results of specific patients and also to previous patients, so you can build something else. You will see now centralized data management. We call it centralized data management. So we can use also the centralized data management in pre-analytical, like pre-sorting, priority routing, delta dilution, aliquoting. We can use the central data management in pre-analytical process. That would not happen with the LIS. LIS are not taking care of such thing. Also for the post-analytical, for the post-sorting, ground reflex, add-on, batch retrieval, like researchers or something like that, archiving and cold storage. This is something called post-analytical. A good example of the workflow and the standardization of the performance, which is the thyroid algorithm. Thyroid algorithm is well known everywhere. That's like the TSH is one the test needed for all of people suffering from something related to the thyroid gland. So if it's normal, usually the process is no further testing is needed. If it's low, we need to go further. We need to do 54 or 34. If it's normal, we need to do more tasks. If it's not, less or more. So it's a process well known. This will be done through personnel. It needs experience. It needs concentration. How we can implement such thing or such process with centralized data management. If we have an automation or something like automation, we can see that this process will be performed. TSH is elevated. It's okay. 34 or 33 will done. System will automatically request this sample to be retrieved and do all further testing without need for the human intervention. And this saves a lot of time and improves the turnaround time. Let's imagine that this sample will be done in the early and the late at night, and only one stuff is available. So how it will be done? It will take hours. That will impact dramatically the turnaround time. But if the TSH is normal, so I need to do antibodies, anti-TPO, anti-TG. That also, it's a third stage of reflex. Let's say it's called reflex with cascading. A lot of stages of reflexing. That needs intelligence. That needs someone to take care of samples in real time. That will be done through the middleware. A good example of that, which is the University of Michigan in USA. They already implemented the hepatitis B surface antigen and HIV process that is recommended by the CDC on the automation using the middleware. So the middleware will do that. And let's see what is the impact out of this experience. 73% reduction in error. 73, you can see, 3/4 of the errors are reduced through the middleware. Only one algorithm-driven testing. Improve the turnaround time 43%, and 97% increase in capacity. Because now I'm using all the digitalization to make benefit out of each second, each minute during the working hours. The second step is improving workforce productivity. We all know that the pressure on the staff is impacting the productivity and also the quality of service. Many tasks to be held by the staff, it consumes time and reduces productivity and also lead to bad service and quality. What if we can automate many of non-added value tasks? Makes the system can do that for you in no time. One of them, well known, is auto verification. But the auto verification go beyond the LIS capability, because the LIS is looking only for some little information, some limited information. Middleware will take care of more information, gathering a lot of information from every part and do better auto verification tools. Also, LIS never incorporate the quality control rules into the auto verification. But with the middleware, you can do that. You can incorporate the quality control results across different tests for specific tests. What I mean by this? Yes, QC for the sodium, let's say for the electrolytes. We have 3 electrolytes, sodium, potassium chloride. Maybe for the LIS, you can use maybe QC, if the sodium QC is out, so I'm only take care of sodium results. However, sometimes, because the electrolytes are linked together, 3 of them are linked together through a specific module, maybe the QC of sodium is out, but also the chloride and potassium results may be impacted. With the middleware, you can build the rule that link them together, even if one of them, quality control of them is not okay, all the 3 will not be performed or will be held for a review. So we can go beyond the LIS capability. That would be done through the centralized data management or the central link or the middleware. in different words. As complex as the auto-verification rule, the error will be less. As complex as the auto-verification rules, as the result will, or the errors will be less. It's beyond the LIS capabilities. You can build many rules. You can build SOP, or you convert your standard operating procedure of your own lab into actionable items or actionable tasks through the middleware. That would not be done through the LIS. Okay. One more good example, which is the moving average. We all know that the quality control, yes, we can understand the quality control process, but what about the moving average, the patient moving average? Most of us doesn't know about the moving average of the patients. We can anticipate drift or shift of patient results through the patient moving average. I can show you now. Now this is like a linear Levy-Gini graph showing that the patient's results are moving in a certain pattern. However, at that time, there is some shift, some drift of the results showing some impacts happening, some problems happening. Let's say the reagents is deteriorating for some reason. So I'm experiencing that the results of the patients are moving in a very, let's say, a drift, a trend, going up, going down. In this case, this is not easy to anyone to understand or to find that there is a problem. It will take time, maybe second day or third day, or maybe after the patient make a claim that I have a problem with my results. But the moving average, the patient moving average, make the middleware can anticipate that something is happening now. I'm experiencing that I'm violating with the guardrail rules, but in patient samples. This is called patient moving up. That would never happen with the LIS. So we go beyond the LIS capability. One more thing, the movement of the staff. As we mentioned, a lot of pressure will lead to less productivity. Let's say that you have many analyzers, people are moving around all these analyzers all the time during the day. But what if you have centralized oversight of your lab? You can see all your analyzers in a one screen, and even you can reach out to this analyzer while you are sitting in your office without moving yourself in front or before the machine. So, okay, I find something in one machine, I need to move myself in front of this machine. We don't need to do that. With a central oversight, with the process management software, with a single click, you can see the screen of this analyzer just in front of you. Do whatever you need as you are in front of this machine. So you save your time, you save your movement for better or to focus on a higher priority task inside your lab. This is a way of this software or the process management software in a multi-site. You can even look for your performance in a multi-site through single screen, as you can see here. And also, you can reach to specific analyzer through your office and see what's happening. Also, automating the inventory management. You need to count your stock. You need to check in documents. You need to check out and check the consumption rate, how to track it, and also you need to place your order. That takes enormous time. That takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And also, it will not be real-time management of inventory. But with the software and touch-free RFID technology, you can monitor your stock within your mobile, through your cell phone while you are sitting in your lounge watching the TV. That will be done through the software. That frees the staff to do more valuable tasks, more focus on more valuable tasks. Third one is to reduce the cost and improve profitability. We mentioned that the poor visibility of KPI or the performance indicators will impact dramatically the financial stability and put reputation at risk. Labs are spending more than 50% of this operating budget on stuffing. However, 35% of the process are inefficient. So leverage analytics, we need analysis. Most of you know about the Six Sigma, process improvement approaches. Many of you I know heard about that. But what does it mean? What do you mean by Six Sigma or Six Sigma process improvement? One of the most reputable one or approach called PDSA, plan, do, study, and act. And in order to do or to apply certain process improvement, you need to gather some information. And as fast as you gather this information, the better outcome of your performance improvement. Let's say that I need to gather, I have an issue now or a situation in my lab, and I need to gather some information. It takes me a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks to gather and aggregate this information in a very structured way. And then you make the decision to change some process steps. And after that, you need for 3 or 4 weeks more to collect information to measure how this improvement happened. It didn't improve the process, so you need to more process and take 3 or 4 months to 4 weeks to measure again what happened. But what if you can collect and gather this information in real time? How fast will be the process improvement? It will be very fast. It will take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days at most. But without collecting real-time information, it will be difficult to apply process improvement. With the software we have, the process management, you have a real-time analytics charts that show you all your KPIs in a real time, in a single chart. This is one of the graphs showing the problem samples. An example that we have a lot of plots in my lab, and with this software, we discovered that all these samples are coming from specific departments, from the ED or from a certain ward, that all of samples coming from this specific part are showing clone detection error. What I need to do is to check who is collecting or who is a phlebotomist, how they collect samples. Maybe the solution is to retrain this person or even to transfer them to somewhere else. And then my problem is solved. Very simple, but it needs a lot of information in real time. Okay? One more thing. Can I be proactive? Can I anticipate that I may violate my turnaround time KPI? Yes, we can. With a process manager, also we can set some rule for a specific parameter or a specific department that I don't need to violate 30-minute turnaround time. For, let's say, for emergency. I'm not waiting to violate and then investigate what happened. I need to investigate before it happens. So we can set some rules. I don't want to violate 3 minutes or 30 minutes turnaround time. And I have a window of, let's say, 5 minutes. Before that, in 5 minutes, it will give you an alert that you have a risk to violate this turnaround time or this KPI. And it will show you what is the expected reason behind the violating the turnaround time. And here you have an idea of what to have to do to solve a problem before it happens. Now I become proactive. Okay? As you can see here, an example. Now I can see this is a problem. Now I have warning at risk, and the reason is maybe the sample is low, maybe the reagent is not there, maybe a problem. So I know exactly maybe what happened to make me validate this turnaround. It's a proactive approach. Okay? Then I need to know what is the turnaround time and what are the samples, even the machines validating this turnaround. We can do that in real time. Okay, fourth step is to prepare for the future. The future is very dynamic. We change every day. So many approaches are coming into space for the future. In the time being, paper-based or traditional digital health model, but in the future, new digital model will appear. Like mobile health, we all know about the mobile health, the wearables, the smart watches, collecting information from your body, and maybe the EMR. Now we know that most of the countries are implementing the EMR, the electronic medical report that collect all information about that patient from his born until his death. Also, the social or the patient-centric that I mentioned early in the presentation, the patient-centric or the engagement, that we offer something to the patient rather than waiting to the patient to come to the hospital. Okay, like the diabetics. That now there's some wearables are measuring the softwares mobile that measures the diabetic and offer what to do to prevent any complications. More about the integrated ecosystem. Now we are gathering information even from the in vivo, from the imaging, and collect them together with the in vitro results to give more patient-centric, value-based care. Also, this is what I mentioned about the patient-centric, historical data from the EMR, results from the in vivo and in vitro, and also real-time correlation with reference results for this population, that the results are different from population to another, and then offer personalized diagnostics and treatment decision for this specific patient based on the population and the data, the historical data of this person. Now, as a wrap-up, we have centralized data management that will solve the standardized or the standardization of the performance. We have automation, decision-making, the auto-verification, and all this stuff, and oversight, centralized oversight, automation of the inventory that will improve the workforce productivity and reduce the errors. Also, the analytics and monitoring the turnaround time, reducing cost and improve profitability. Patient engagement solution and the AI and decision support that prepare yourself for the future. Thank you. This is my contact if any request needed from anyone. You can reach out to me anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohamed, for this nice presentation. I have 2 questions.
You're welcome.
The patient moving average protocol, you are applying the patient moving average protocol on a machine that you are applying a patient moving average technique for the pulse control?
You can apply it in your lab, whatever the machine is, through the middleware. The middleware is collecting the information from the analyzers, and you can apply whatever the Westcard rule that you are using in your policy to anticipate or to monitor the moving average and anticipate the violation.
You are applying the moving average protocol in any machine for the CBC, for example.
Yes.
Whenever we were in the past trying to apply the moving average protocol, it wasn't successful.
Yes,
because our machines are implemented in the hospital lab.
Yeah.
The hospital lab is serving many wards.
Good.
The moving average protocol needs a specific criteria for single patient.
Exactly. As I mentioned earlier, as complex the rule that you apply, the better outcomes and the less errors.
Yes.
In this case, I would say that for a certain department, I'm anticipating specific moving average. For a certain like trauma, the hematology is very high, normally is very high. However, you may find one is very, very low. This is making nonsense. I need to investigate this. So the system will alert you this sample is not properly getting the same result as others. So it's alerting. You can build a rule.
It's like more or less the data check, but in another
in a bigger, in a more holistic view.
Yes.
Yeah, you can also identify what is the batch size. This is identify also the moving average. Let's say that 10 samples are enough for your batch. Each 10 samples are gathered together. Okay, so if there is any violation, it will be kept or captured early. Maybe your batch is 5 samples, or maybe 100 samples. It's tailored. It's based on your requirements and your policy, your internal policy.
طيب هو سؤال علشان الاساتذه، احنا كلنا دلوقتي ممكن بيكون في حد عنده توتال لاب اوتوميشن وبيغير، او ناس كتير جامعات بتشتكي دلوقتي، فالميدل وير ده اون ماركت يعني ده موجود؟
Yes.
يعني ده applicable دلوقتي؟
Yes. We have earlier the central link, and now it become a more intuitive graphical user interface. It's a dashboard, like a dashboard, very interactive, and you can apply more rules than before.
Last question, معلش انا اسئلتي كتير.
It's improvement on the central link. The central link is the core engine, and then we have more interactive.
يعني انا مش عايز بعد كده الا just registration and printing اللي هحتاج، انما اي حاجه في النص كواليتي كنترول، اي حاجه محتاجها المفروض الميدل وير يعملها، ايفن الصيانه والحاجات دي كلها والانفنتوري كل حاجه.
The inventory will not be on the middleware. It will be like a process map. They will be consolidated in one.
الانفنتوري ده اسهل حاجه، انما المانجمنت كل التكنيكال داتا دي هو هيعملها بنفسه.
Yes.
هو دكتور مجدي بيقول الانفنتوري اسهل حاجه، معلش عشان انت برضو اتكلمت في الباركود سكانر بتاع اللوت نمبرز والحاجات اللي داخله المخزن. Is it applicable for your company only؟ يعني انا لو عندي الانفنتوري بيسيرف multiple companies، هل كله ممكن يبقى سكان؟ عشان دي كانت مشكله عندي في حته معينه.
That's a great question. Actually, there is two approaches now in the market regarding the inventory management. The first approach is the RFID technology. The RFID, not the barcode. The RFID technology. It means that I have some antennas somewhere that reads whatever what nothing under. Okay.
اللي هي بتاعت المحلات، اللي هو اي حاجه هتعدي من المحل هتتصور.
Yes, correct. Yes, but that was a bulk one, like a solid part, but now it's like a paper. Okay, so it's RFID technology. Only two companies, I believe, I guess now, are using this technology. SIEMENS is one of them. The other technology is the barcode reading, and this is very limiting software or very limiting system because you need to check yourself every part you need to read, and there is no monitoring for consumption. You have to do it yourself. So a lot of operation or manual operation should be done to manage the inventory. But with the touch-free, it's not like that. But now you can print the RFID label and use it on any vendor. So even your chair, you can label the chairs.
QR reader.
Yes.
Like a QR reader.
Yes. Yes. But it's antenna, so it's away. It's not close to the device.
Thank you.
Egypt now connected to the main head office for anticipating any fault by 2 or 3 weeks from home or still?
Okay, that's a great question.
If your machine is connected, if you have a continuous internet supply and your machine is connected, it's okay.
Egypt is not on the map up till now.
No, in Alexandria we have one machine connected.
Yes. Actually, previously there was no connection, but now with the artificial intelligence that was implemented in the Atelica solution, now we are gathering information. If the internet is consistent, it's approved, safety is done, security is done. So the system is liably connected to SIEMENS network, and information are gathered in real time, and then anticipation of problems that may reach to 80 components in time being, that would be monitored before it happens with 21 days, up to 21 days. It's running right now. It's a very dangerous.
We hope that we can apply تلك اللي انت قلته، ان هو طبعا احنا يعني على ارض الواقع بنواجه مشاكل، يعني محمد ده احنا حاولنا نطبقه عندنا في جهاز الاتليكا اللي فاكره عندنا. الانترنت ما كانش بيدي كود سبلاي، فقررنا ان احنا نعمل سول انترنت لاين ومشاكل كده لوجستيه، فطبعا ان شاء الله خير يعني. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا.